So I have a question about generational wealth, and the Bible talks about leaving for the next generation. And you just answered the question about the insurance policy. Is it wrong for a parent who has wealth to not want to leave it to their children? Because I know it's been in like the news before of extremely wealthy parents who are like, I'm going to leave all of this to charity and let my child kind of come their own way because they already have the tools because they've been around me to produce their own wealth. So is that wrong, or should the parent leave financially things to their children?
that sounds like uh, there's some issues there probably with the kid. Now I'm gonna tell you. Now, if you could have some parents, and if their kids' life is out of order, and you know it's out of order, why would you leave it to them? Because remember, money does not change you. It only amplifies. That's why sometimes people think, oh, that person they were this or that. Then once they got money, they changed. No, they didn't. Money only amplifies. No, it didn't. They were, no. If they crazy now with money, they was crazy broke. You just didn't know it. Because the scripture says a poor man doesn't have a voice. That's in the Bible. No one listens to a poor man. So he could have been a fool, but nobody knew it because he had no voice. But then when he got the money, he now got a voice. And now you see him being a fool. So money don't change. It only amplifies where you at. I don't know about that. Well, get some and you'll see. Get some and you'll see. So in a case like that, there are cases where it could be that way. You know, why would, especially, you ain't got to have a fortune, but whatever, if your child is, God forbid, is on drugs or this or that, why would you leave it to them right now? So I understand that. Now, for something as if that teach somebody a lesson, see, there's still some other issues going on with that. There's some issues going on with that. See, there's some other issues because if you've taught your child a certain way or whatever, and as an adult, and you could still, because there are a lot of rich people who work. Some of your richest families still work and did not have to because they were taught to be productive. It's not always about the money. It's about productivity. Who have billions and still work, they're productive, still got to do this and that. And when you have that kind of wealth, that's how you are to train your children to be productive in a certain way. But now to just say, I'm let them figure it out on it, no, there's some issues going on with that.
If you leave a lot of money to a fool, he would premature die.
They self-destruct.
He was self-destruct. He was self-destruct because he has no structure, no direction, no purpose, no anything. And you would think the money would make him mature, but it won't. It will make him be more than what he is. So without the foundation done first, while we are still alive together, if I die and leave it to you, you're going to be even worse because you have nothing to hold you back. There's nothing to hold you back. So in other words, let's get the foundation first from before you leave any money for anybody, because that's how generation die. It dies that way. Yeah. You don't see the Johnson family anymore. You don't see the Smith family anymore because somebody did not hold on to the inheritance and left it to the next one because it was somewhere it messed up.
Yeah.
Because the generation do die. It is some people's name. The name is not there
and
no
the
more.
thing about it, when it's done right, each generation should be stronger and stronger. See, it's stuff when people they have a lack of knowledge. Because some people be like, I ain't gonna give you nothing because you start on your own. I built something from the ground. You got to do it. That's not biblical. That's not biblical. So basically, from a biblical standpoint, it talks about leaving inheritance to your children's children. That's going to 2 generations. where they can continue and just build on whatever. In other words, yeah, maybe you started here and you were able to build a few churches. But now the wealth went to 10 billion. Now, when your time comes, you'll be able to build 1 million churches. That's how that's supposed to be.
Or you carried on if your father was a shoemaker.
Or whatever.
A shoemaker, purse maker, and then you take over the company and you make it bigger and better.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to look for a career. You got a career already.